someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now.
What's going on, friend? Welcome back to another episode of the Try and Stop Me podcast. Today is solo time. If you are new here, my name is Colleen, but you can call me Col. Every single Monday, we drop a brand new episode. Some Mondays, it's with some truly incredible guests on the show, and they're sharing their valuable life lessons that they've learned along the way, whether in their careers or just life in general. And on the off Mondays, it's just like today, me and you hanging out for some quick solo time just to go through some quick mindset tips or goal setting tips, whatever the case is. But the whole main of the show is to motivate you, challenge you, inspire you, shake you up, and help you grow outside of your comfort zone so that you can go and kick ass in the goals and the dreams that you've always been thinking about doing. So today, I really want to dive into something that honestly, I had a totally different thing picked out for this solo time. It was we're recording on Friday per usual, the end of the week, and I had this whole kind of like motivational type of conversation, and I was not I don't know, not really feeling it or just kind of second guessing it, and all day long I was just thinking and thinking and thinking and just like, it's not the solo episode. It's not the solo episode for this week. Something about it was off. I'll probably do it in the future, whatever the case is. But I really started to think, how many thoughts do we think as human beings? Like the amount of thinking process that I had today, if that even just came out in a normal sentence, it was just I can't even begin to understand or explain how many different thoughts that I had today. So I Googled, of course, Google is always my best friend and will remain my best friend for life. But I wanted to know, how many thoughts does the human brain think per day? And what I found out is mind blowing. We think 48 thoughts per minute. That's 70,000 thoughts per day that the human brain thinks on a consistent basis. So our minds are always moving and grooving. It is having a field day up there, whether we know it or not. We're always thinking about something, whether it's on our conscious brain or our subconscious brain, whatever is going on, there's always a thought there. So it had me thinking more of kind of goal setting and kind of the fear around when you do set a goal or when you do want to do something, but then the thought comes in and it stops you in your tracks and you don't end up actually going through with it. And it really brings me back to kind of how our brain works. Like we talk to ourselves more than we talk to anybody else in this world. We all know that. I think that I'm the only person in this world that literally has this like internal dialogue that I fight with myself all of the time. But now seeing that and talking to more people, I realize it's simply exactly how the human brain works. We are there to protect ourselves, to talk us kind of in safe scenarios, in unsafe scenarios, have this internal dialogue and make quick decisions based on kind of past experiences or current experiences or gut intuitions. Whatever it is, our brains are always moving and grooving. And when we introduce a different thought or an uncomfortable thought or a thought that's going to take us out of our comfort zone, out of our norm, our brain does this kind of like fright or flight. What is it? Somebody help me out with that. I never get that right ever, but it really starts to go into this defense mechanism because our brains are used to something that either we've experienced in a past experience in life, that somebody may have said to us, that may have said to ourselves. And throughout our lives, like in our childhood, you go through like the playground stage, like somebody made fun of you or somebody threw the ball at you and hit you in the head. Like you remember that. Our brains remember that. Our brains remember being made fun of. Our brains remember being cheated on. Our brains remember being let down. Our brains remember being feeling loved. Like our brains know the good and the bad and how it made us feel. So it's there to protect us from things that are going to make us feel uncomfortable. Our intuition is there, our gut intuition, it makes us feel scared sometimes. And that's what I think, I personally, and if you feel me on this, you probably shake your head while you're listening to this in the car or wherever you're listening to this. You're having an internal dialogue every every opportunity that comes in front of you, you're making that decision based on something that you've learned from the past. So right now is the time. And while I go through this like growth journey, and if you're new to the show, I'm doing coaching sessions and it's difficult and it's hard and it's great and it's wonderful all at the same time. But what I'm learning is by going after the dreams and the goals and the success and the future that I want for myself, I need to start shifting the mindset dialogue that I have within to be able to then get out there and kind of beat my own brain. Not in a bad way, but beat the game, beat this kind of system that I've created for myself to defend myself and protect myself and kind of I don't know. Whatever our brains are supposed to do, it's doing because it makes it scary to go and take that leap. And that's what I think we start to fall into this fear, this like utter fear of you have this big, scary goal. And that word is always there. You always hear these like motivational speakers, like that big, scary goal that you wanted to do. And I wanted to throw up and I didn't know I could do it. And I didn't believe in myself, but I kind of did because we learn so much about life as we grow up that we create this adult and it has such a great impact on what our future is going to be. So if we don't kind of internalize and recognize today where we're at, where our shortcomings are, where we're not talking to ourselves in the correct way or stopping a negative thought in its tracks and kind of brushing it over and putting some icing over and saying it's going to be okay, honey, we're going to get through it. It's going to be scary, but don't stop telling me not to do it because the try and stop me mentality is also ourselves. You know, somebody else could have told you you can't accomplish something in your life or you can't do it or you're not good enough or you're not pretty enough or you're not smart enough or strong enough, whatever the bullshit people say in the society. But the more we tell ourselves that, the more we kind of internalize and keep giving that life, the more we're not going to take that next step into our future, right? You have to show up for your 9 to 5. You don't have enough time in the day to work out. The easier fast food is better to pick up versus just cooking for yourself or drinking more water throughout the day. It's the little steps that we need to start taking that if you're like, okay, I want to start moving more. You don't got to lift weights, but you want to start moving more actively. Your brain's going to be like, no, girl, the couch and Netflix is kind of a hell of a lot more comfortable than going for that walk, but you have to be the one that's the determination to be able to cut that thought off and be like, the Netflix will be there when I get home, but right now I got to move my body. Instead of reaching for that soda, reach for the water. If you don't like the taste of it, there's so much stuff out there that you could put in water. It's the little steps, the little tricks, the 9 to 5 job so you can do your 9 to 5, 9 to 5. But if you do have this dream, if you do have this side gig that you want to start or you've always dreamt about doing, why not do it on a weekend? Why not look into it at night? At least start looking into it. You may have kids to take care of, you may have a family to take care of, or yourself to take care of. But if you don't start to look into the details of how would you even accomplish the goal that you want or that dream career that you want, you're just going to stay as is. And then you might regret it at 80 years old. So, why not start the steps and telling the mind to quiet down, telling it that it's not this scary thing that we're going to go after or step into, that it's something that's going to actually give us life, give us joy, make us feel like a kid again. Then you can really start to tackle the mindset of the thoughts of the day, the negative thoughts of the day, the negative down spiral, right? And I'm not portraying like, here's what I think about goals and life and just who we want to be. I think we need to picture like who is our future self. And I've talked about future self in the past before because I think that's where I'm really going. Like I want to be the future person, but I have to love the person I am today. I have to treat this person that I am today with the respect and dignity and care because this is who I am today. We don't know if we get tomorrow, the future we're building for, but today is who matters. So when we could check in with our mind today, I need to be and set realistic goals for myself of like the traits that I want to be in the future. So I know I have goals in line and they're realistic goals. Like, let me say this thinking that we can do whatever in this world 100%. I think everybody is capable of doing anything that they set their mind to a kind of realistic limit. I know I'm a terrible drawer. Like if I wanted to go draw something right now, I have two sisters that are just their brains, their hands, they work in the most beautiful manner that they can do these drawings that are just, they're perfect. I don't have that. I literally can't even draw a stick figure. So I know realistically, like, I can't dream of a career path of being an artist who can draw this beautiful picture, right? Like, that's realistic. I know that's not going to happen. But realistically, I know that I can show up to this world and bring value to it. I know that I could show up to this world and be authentic in it and be myself in it and try to empower other people or motivate other people. That's my dream. So, my traits, just to give you kind of like a quick idea of what I'm talking about, of like trying to think of ourselves in a better manner and how we can kind of pivot our brain to being those 70,000 thoughts per day that we think, how we can start to maneuver and fit in our future self that we want to become by starting to work on our mindset right now and thinking of the traits that we want to be in the future. So for me, I'm shooting to be enthusiastic about life, valuable, and present, right? So I want you to think about three things that you, just three, that you want to show up in the future for, right? So for me, being enthusiastic, it's like I can get in moods. I am a Virgo. Like, I can get in a real bitchy mood real quick. And sometimes, like, I can take one thing that happened in the day and it could set me off. And it's all over my face and there's nothing I could do about it. And I'm actively trying to be not like that anymore. I'm trying to show up enthusiastic, be kind of the light that walks into the room and organically, right? I'm not going to just be like bouncing around acting like I'm somebody I'm not. I do also want to be authentic, right? Like walking in if I'm in a bad mood. So I'm in a bad mood, but my goal is to be enthusiastic about life, enthusiastic about what I'm doing in the moment, trying to find joy and happiness in the moment of what I'm doing and finding a good thing in the present and enthusiasm around that thing. So enthusiastic is what I want. That's what I'm going to work on. That's what we are working on. So enthusiastic to be valuable, of course, with the show, right? And the more people that you talk to and the more people that I touch and the more people that I have conversations with, I want to bring value. I want to help people. I want to help people get them out of their comfort zones. I want to help women realize you are a unstoppable badass no matter what bullshit you've gone through in the past, that you have this fire inside of you that it might have gotten blown out before, but there is some coal there that still has that fire in it that we could just blow on and you are going to light back up. So, value, I want to bring value to this world. And then I want to be present. I want to slow down. We got 70,000 thoughts, girl. Like, seriously, I'm thinking all of the time on the next thing that I want to do. And I'm trying to be a hell of a lot more present, like I just said before, in the exact moment. Because tomorrow we pray that it comes, we hope that it comes, but it may not come. So I'm trying to take time in the limited time that you do have with people because everybody is busy now. We are all running around. So getting those hours or two with people, trying to be more present in the moment in the exact thing that I'm doing, right? Not wishing or hoping or trying to run to the next thing. So those are my three things: to be more kind of in check with myself and slowing down the mind and being more present, right? Number 3, into what we're doing. So I think that when you're looking into kind of your goals and what you want to accomplish, it sometimes you could beat yourself up. Sometimes we can get in our head because we have 70,000 thoughts per day. It's normal. But if you can come up with 3 traits that you want to work towards in the future, those 70,000 thoughts per day, you can start to kind of shift maybe one of those scenarios in your head. I know if you are like me, we get those 70,000 thoughts, and I swear it turns into like a novel. I wish somebody could really just, I don't know, I wish there was like a machine that could just write down all of when you get your best ideas in the shower and you're like, "Oh, where's the marker right now? Like, where can I write this on the wall?" That's how I feel like just walking around and it's like this story. I wish we could just write it down because I think we could all have really good like Harry Potter books because of the scenarios. But if we can change the scenarios by figuring out the traits that we want to work towards, not just the goals, not just the discipline, not just the motivation and the picking stuff up and throwing stuff down and like, getting skinnier and looking beautiful and all of this nonsense that we all want to do, like really internalizing in our mind and taking care of ourselves and our being, that we will get to our goals a hell of a lot happier. And that's the whole purpose. We want to be happy and healthy. Life is not going to be perfect. Life is going to have this crazy journey, but you'll be a hell of a lot more prepared if you're able to kind of check in on your thoughts per day and the traits that you want to be instead of letting shit, kind of fire you up and set you off. You'll be able to slow down, think about the self that you want to be because you are now experiencing it in your moment, and then go from there. That's what I got for you today. I hope you do it. If you do it and you pick 3 traits for yourself, let me know because I would totally love to hear what other people are doing and what you are working towards. So next week we'll have a great interview, and I can't wait to see you there. I hope you have a great
The
week.
future is now.